All right. Hello. It's a Friday, the day after the first round of the NFL draft. Look at TJ going for the long pullout here, going for the artsy shot.
Introduce him on point, so it makes sense.
Look over here. We got Ben Mintz to my left. We got Big Ev. That is Pick Central. Look at us. Three good-looking guys.
Some would say clowns to the left, jokers to the right.
If the horniest chick in the world walked into this room right now, she'd turn around and walk right back out and go take a nap. Huh?
No.
Yes, correct. All right, so it is the day after the NFL draft. We will talk about that a lot. We had the Barstool NFL draft show last night. I wish you guys could have seen it. It was fantastic. It was awesome. I think the quality of the quality of the show that we did is awesome. Just kind of sucks that we had some video quality issues that hindered the ability for that to shine through. But it is what it is. Can't do nothing about that now. We'll have the show next year, and I'll be great once again. Ron will be great. Stephen Shea will be great. Hopefully the internet works. So
it wasn't even on our end. It was on StreamYard Sound, wasn't it?
I have no idea. It's at some point. I don't know. So anyway, it is Pick Central Daily Gambling Show. Lot to talk about. Even if the NFL draft hadn't happened last night, you've got Kyrie going nuts, losing his goddamn mind again. You've got Stephen A. Smith losing his mind about Kyrie. You've got, NBA, 3 teams just go out on the road last night and close out.
Chris Paul goes 14 for 14 in a playoff game.
Not a superstar.
Not a superstar. Kyrie Irving, though.
Not a superstar. 33 points, 8 assists, and the most efficient game you could possibly have. Not a superstar. Anyway, we'll talk about NBA. We'll talk about, I don't know, and we'll also have to watch the SAS video. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it yet.
I didn't watch it.
You haven't watched the SAS video?
No, I didn't watch it.
All right, can we just do the SAS video from the jump, and then we will.
Music, we can't.
Oh, we can't do that?
Correct.
Wait, but
what? In the back, the NFL theme's playing the whole time. Can't play it.
Well, how do you get away with it on Twitter?
Roll the dice.
You roll the dice,
We're
or
on TV right now, live.
you posted from a burner and then share tweet via it.
No, I understand. I'm not stupid.
Well, then why'd you ask how to get away with it then?
I was wondering how I got away with it.
Well, I just said it to you.
Is this the energy we're starting off with?
Just asking.
All right. So NFL draft. It happens last night, round 1. There's so many layers: winners, losers, trades, all that. We can talk about it. I don't know where you even start. To me, just on the surface, felt like one of the faster first rounds I can ever remember. I saw more teams running their cards up to solidify their pick. The Lions, I don't know how the Lions didn't beat the Jags to the podium. The Jags picked, and the Lions were sitting right there okay, they don't want this guy, give me 8. And that happened 3 or 4 times.
Well, yeah, because they probably pulled the Vikings-Eagles. They were laughing their ass off. They didn't take Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, so the number 1 pick, of course, Trayvon Walker from Georgia. That's a pick that your mileage may vary. The Jags believe they've got something there. They believe they've got a high-end potential. A lot of people don't believe they have that. And then you've got Aiden Hutchinson, the presumptive number 1 pick. He ends up staying home and going to Detroit, the Michigan Wolverine. It goes Derek Stingley Jr. After that, Sauce Gardner, on and on and on. Let me just ask you before we get to winners and losers. I'll start with you, Big Av. Just your gut reaction after round 1.
For the Giants or just the whole draft?
Whole draft.
I think for the most part, the teams that had multiple picks used them in a good way. I think most of them took advantage. Some you could make arguments, but I think the majority of them did the right things with their picks.
I thought it was a very chaotic draft. especially once you got to like 10 or 11 and the trades started happening.
I mean, just like it was, what was it, 3 or 4 in a row?
Yeah, it was bang, bang, bang. Same thing happened last year at that same spot, remember? That's when last year
it was the receivers.
Yeah.
I think it was really the receivers, obviously, that made it pop like that.
Last year the Bears came up and got Justin Fields, and the Eagles traded up and got Devontae Smith. Like that happened, bang, 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 and it was in the exact same spot this year.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
11 is where it started. Last year I think it started at 10, but basically the same spot. So got big picture reaction.
My big picture instant reaction is just the A.J. Brown and the Hollywood Brown stuff because, the NFL was always a league where players would get franchised and stay in their organizations. And now we're seeing like the NBA thing happening with all the quarterbacks leaving. And now, I mean, A.J. Brown going to Philly, he's only entering his 4th year. And Hollywood Brown reuniting with Kyler Murray, I almost felt like that was almost the biggest thing to react to last night.
Well, it is like a sea change in the way teams are doing things. Like they're getting 3 years out of these receivers, and they're either deciding to I don't know, they're deciding not to pay them, and these receivers are going and getting paid. And that 2019 draft class, DK Metcalf is on the board right now. He might get traded at some point. I think, is Debo in that draft class? I think he is.
Yeah, he was. And Debo was the first pick of the 2nd round in that class because I thought AJ was going to go to the Niners.
And then you got, you got Hollywood Brown, you got AJ Brown. Like these guys get to the end of these rookie contracts, it's time to pay them. And these teams, like the Titans, I guess, just decide. We're right there. Our window to the Super Bowl is kind of closing, so let's just go ahead and close it on ourselves. I don't know what they're doing.
After seeing they were apparently very far off on money.
Yeah,
and they drafted Traylon Burks, just hoping to plug him in that physical spot. We'll see.
The pro comp on ESPN to Traylon Burks was
AJ Brown. Yeah, they drafted AJ Brown to replace AJ Brown.
Yeah,
it's and I love Traylon Burks.
I do too.
Actually,
he's a monster.
I don't think that's a bad move if we're being honest.
No, like if you think you're getting Traylon Burks for, you give him the signing bonus, you make a few million a year instead of paying. I mean, the Eagles gave AJ Brown $25 million a year.
I mean, even if he's not, let's say he's 70% of AJ Brown, and you can pay him 30% of the money.
Yeah, less. Yeah, probably even.
Roan made a great point on a backup that when this Jaguars gave Christian Kirk all that money, what that did, wide receivers are starting to get like what quarterbacks were getting a few years ago. I mean, we're seeing Tyreek Hill gets $30 million, AJ Brown gets $25 million. I mean, that's why we're seeing them on the move. I mean, that's a hell of a lot of money. I know the salary cap's a sliding scale, and it keeps going up, and it's like $208 million. But if you're paying a quarterback $40 million, it's pretty damn hard to pay a receiver $25 or $30 million. I mean, it's just a economic fact.
So DK Metcalf's got to be sitting in Seattle right now thinking, all right, time to ship me out. If A.J. Brown just went and got $25 million, DK could get 30.
Yeah, at least the same.
Yeah, I think DK's a better player in the league than AJ.
I don't know. I think DK's got more speed, but I feel like AJ is more consistent. Like DK disappeared.
AJ can't get on the field very.
No, that's true too. AJ's Will Compton said it last night. It's like, man, you're not going to see him on practice during the week, but on Friday he'll get in the training room and he'll be ready to be out there on Sunday. I can tell you that.
So on a selfish note, let's just go ahead. I'm a Dolphins fan. Didn't have a first-round pick, so I have nothing to say here. I'm sitting between two gentlemen who are passionate fans of teams, and they both had 2 picks. Yesterday, Stephen Che was in here, and I'm not sure why he's not in here right now. Stephen Che was in here to talk draft, and he mocked Evan Neal at 5, Kayvon Thibodeau at 7 to the Giants. And you said, I'd take that right now.
Sure.
But he was way, way wrong because they went Thibodeau at 5 and Evan Neal at 7. You said sign me up for it, and you signed up for it.
No, I'm very happy. But I said I wanted Sauce, so I was disappointed when the Jets took him, and I kind of figured this was going to happen. I know it was pretty much reported that the Giants had done the most research on anybody on Thibodeau. They also did a great job with kind of the smoke screen.
Right.
See, we're not like Gettleman was the dummy where he would literally just telegraph exactly who he wanted. Shane told everybody basically that they did all this research on Thibodeau and were out on him when they loved him the whole time. I kind of figured they would go a different direction with that 5th pick once every tackle was available, just knowing that you're guaranteed 2 of the 3. And I think with Neal, in my opinion, we ended up with the best one. I'm really excited about. And Thibodeau, I just think his ceiling's super high. The Giants are going back to, I think, the way they used to do things, which is the right way, like meat and potatoes. You build the team, offensive line, defensive line, not wide receivers, not like this. They just offensive line, defense, get a great pass rusher, a great tackle to pair with Andrew Thomas. Now we have 2 legitimate bookend tackles that we haven't had in a long time. I'm ecstatic. I think they did a great job.
All right, the Saints came into last night at 16-19. 16-19, and they traded up to 11. And when they did that, I looked at them and I was like, first of all, it's quarterback. They're not trading up for Chris Olave. Guys, don't get excited. This idiot's over here saying, I want Chris Olave. I want Chris Olave. I said, it's not Chris Olave. I promise you it's not Chris Olave. You're not trading up to 11 to get Chris Olave. It was Chris Olave.
Well, it actually brought me back. I should have mentioned this on the show. It brought me back to remember last year when I freaked out when they didn't take Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
And they took the Houston DN, Peyton Turner, I'm sorry. But they basically redeem that with. I think Olave is a great fit. I'd heard the Saints loved him. Ev, obviously, you know tons about him. I think he's a hell of a route runner. And I think, in that Saints offense on the Superdome, I think he's a good fit there. And, always in theory, everybody's healthy till they're not. But the thought of Mike Thomas and Olave with Marquez Callaway, who's a good number 3. He was at number 1 last year, which was egregious. Taysom Hill moving to tight end and Alvin Kamara at running back. In theory, that looks pretty damn good. Now, we'll see who can stay healthy and all that stuff. But I like the Olave move. And they liked him. They clearly – when Garrett Wilson went, the Saints had Olave ranked ahead of all those other receivers, and they moved up and got him. And my instant reaction was panic because Mickey Loomis, I was like, tell me you didn't trade 16 and 19 to get to 11, and they didn't. And that was what I was concerned about.
So, and then 19, they take a Trevor Penning, the offensive tackle.
I thought that was funny when Megan and I were on there. And Megan was like, I just trust what the Saints organization's going to do. And I'm like, they're going to take Trevor Penning because they just lost Terran Armstead.
We're going to get to winners, but we talked about winners we've already had this whole show off the air.
Yeah.
We did this whole show off the air earlier. But we talked about winners, and there's a couple teams we're going to talk about, Giants being one, Jets, of course, Eagles. What about the Lions?
No, they did good.
The Lions got Aiden Hutchinson at 2, who could have been the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
And then they got what might be the best receiver in the whole draft, in Jameson Williams.
No, I think they did great. I thought they did phenomenal.
I mean, that's an outstanding draft. They had to give up a little bit of capital to get Jameson Williams, but they didn't have to give up anything. They just sat there and took maybe the presumptive number 1 pick that the Jags passed on. That's a great draft by the Lions. So let's do that. Winners. I think you got to pick one team. If we're saying who won this draft, it can't be anybody but the New York Jets.
No, it has to be. I think they did awesome. I love all 3 players. I said yesterday before the draft happened, these are 3 guys I love. I said even Jermaine Johnson was a guy that I'd be willing to bet on. I'm shocked that he went 26. I would have to imagine Garrett Wilson and Jermaine Johnson was probably who they were deciding between at 10, because I was talking even to Big Cat earlier. If you look at it, it's crazy that Kayvon Thibodeau went 5th. Jermaine Johnson was the next true edge rusher all the way at 26. It was 21 picks in between. So that's crazy. But I mean, I've said I thought Sauce Gardner was the best player in the whole draft. I think Garrett Wilson was the best receiver in the draft. And I think Jermaine Johnson potentially could be the best edge rusher in the draft, at least top 2 or 3.
And then they got him late first round, so if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But to get an elite corner, an elite receiver, and an edge rusher, I mean, they got, pretty much all the premium non-quarterback and I guess the offensive tackle positions in the draft in this first round.
Yeah, and not only got potentially the best player at each position. I don't believe Garrett Wilson's going to be the best receiver in this draft. I think it's going to be, I don't know, but they're all good. Even if you don't get the best receiver in this draft, Garrett Wilson can still be really fucking good.
I think Wilson out of the receivers has potentially the highest floor. Just his style of play, I would just be shocked to see him not a good pro.
I would say highest ceiling is Jameson Williams. Would you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would say so.
But again,
or maybe like a Pickens, maybe.
Yeah, but
Williams, I would agree with in theory. He's just such a home run hitter.
I feel like Olave could be a solid 1,200 yard consistent.
Oh yeah, I think
he could be the most consistent.
We're talking about which one could be the best, but all of them could be good.
For sure,
all of them could be good.
You want to talk about fucking come to Ohio State play receiver?
Yeah,
that literally was our 3 receivers 2 seasons ago.
And next year,
that was literally our 1, 2, 3.
This is the third. LSU did it a couple years ago. Alabama did it. 4 first-round picks in 2 years, and now Ohio State. And then you've got another one coming.
And JSN on every board is wide receiver 1 for next year.
Yeah, and will be, in my opinion, college football opinion incoming right now, will be better than Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave this year.
I had raved about it. They both, on record, they say JSN was better than us.
He
showed best of the group.
He showed us that in the bowl game against
Rose Bowl. He was.
He
honestly, he really did it all year, because even games when I think Wilson missed. You would see Wilson missed the game. He would just go berserk. He just gets open.
Now I want to talk about a pick, because in this company, we're supposed to suck the Patriots' dick, right? And we're supposed to suck Bill Belichick's dick. Oh, he's the smartest. I think this was a classic. Bill Belichick wanting to look smarter than everybody else. He took a pick. He took a guy. See ya, man. Good job. He took a guy, Cole Strange. Nobody mocking the first round ever thought about Cole Strange. Nobody mocking the first 2 rounds ever thought about Cole Strange. In fact, last night, Sean McVay in a press conference, looking quite drunk, was like, Cole Strange just went. We watched.
We thought he might be there at 104.
Thought he'd be there at 104. We watched a bunch of film on him. Thought he'd be at 104, and the Patriots take him at 29, and automatically some in the press are like, oh, Belichick does it again, or he figures it out. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I mean, for him, so he's had obviously they've had some bad track records at some positions like receiver.
Yeah.
He does have a pretty good track record at offensive lineman. So I lean I'm not ready to suck his dick. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
He does deserve that, and he is one of the sharpest, shrewdest guys there is. But there is also a point that he just used pick 29 on a pick he could have got 50 picks later.
I think second round he could have got him for sure.
Yeah.
I would think.
I think they wanted the Zion Hamilton, the guard from Boston College who went to the Chargers at 17. I thought he was the initial guy.
Zion Johnson.
Zion Johnson, I'm sorry. Whatever.
That's
Hamilton.
okay.
But regardless, I think that's who they wanted, and when he went, they decided to move back. And the Pats always trade down, and it makes it to where they don't have to hit on all their picks because they always have so many. It's like the anti-Saints theory.
All right, so the only quarterback taken last night for the first time since 2013, an awful draft with an awful quarterback. We only have one first-round quarterback, and it was Kenny Pickett at 20, and that's a team that engaged in a lot of smoke and mirrors too because they had us believing it was Malik Willis. Yeah. They had everybody believing it was Malik Willis. Malik Willis doesn't go at all. And Kenny Pickett stays, just has to change lockers, I guess. He just moves a little bit, and he goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jersey Jerry cries about it on camera. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But Kenny Pickett is the only quarterback taken. What do you think about that?
I like him better than Willis. I mean, I said yesterday I thought Willis would be the bust of the draft. I guess I had a similar mindset that to the point that no one took him.
You almost can't be a bust if you get picked third, fourth round.
No, true.
Right,
true.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm worried about Jerry as a friend that being best friends with your new quarterback's a slippery slope.
Yeah. What if he sucks?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not wishing that on Kenny Pickett. He seems like a great guy. I'm just that's a tough spot. So we've seen it with Caleb. And that wasn't even his team, but that's a tough spot to be in because if he's just not good.
What a moment for Kenny Pickett, though. I mean, you never hardly get to see something like that. I mean, played at Pittsburgh, played in Heinz Field. And he's a guy that I felt like he started 5 or 6 years in college, was not really good for 3 or 4 of them, and then just went nuts this last year. Kind of almost reminded me of the Burrow progression in a way.
Yeah.
Like a guy that's starting and a team guy that people like, but didn't put up big stats, and then just the game slowed down, and he just nuked it completely, and now –
It was, but it was like the Burrow on steroids. He literally, I think, for 3 years running, he had 13 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He was consistently average.
I mean, Burrow the year before was very
16 touchdown passes.
This guy, 3 years, I'm saying. He went 3 years, 13-9, 13-9, 13-9, and then boom.
40 and 10.
Shit went
whatever.
crazy. Well, they, Whipple, the offensive coordinator, did a great job. They had great receivers, and he was great. So,
they could Pitt to an ACC title.
There was a lot of home cooking last night. Aiden Hutchinson from Detroit stays in Detroit. Kenny Pickett, Pitt, stays in Pitt. On and on, and there was another one that I just had. Oh, Ike Ekwonu from Charlotte goes to Charlotte or goes to Carolina, and I think there was one. Oh, Kenyon Green from A&M goes to the Houston Texans.
I mean, Stingley didn't go far either. Baton Rouge to Houston. I mean, it's not home, but it's 3 hours.
Yeah, so a lot of guys taking familiar guys.
I want to mention the Georgia thing. 5 defensive players in the first round, and Kobe Dean wasn't even one of them.
Well, I was going to do this in winners later. Here are the winners I wrote down for this draft. The winner 1, Jets. Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, Jermaine
Johnson.
Thank you very much. Giants, pass rusher, pass protector. Eagles, Jordan Davis, who a lot of Eagles fans wanted. I don't know how good he's going to be, but he's intriguing as fuck. He could be real fucking good. And A.J. Brown. And then my fourth winner, the Georgia Bulldogs. We see why they won the national title. Kirby Smart basically just built his own Alabama in Athens, Georgia. This is an Alabama-type draft. 5 defensive players in the first round. And
that's time it's ever been done.
And that is with Nakobe Dean sitting right there ready to go. And he's not defensive, but George Pickens sitting there ready to go.
Also, for the winners, I like to add the Ravens as well. I think
Hamilton was one of the best.
I'm adding and Lindenbaum. I think the Ravens absolutely crushed it as they fucking always do.
I'm adding Lions too. I think Lions
did well, absolutely.
And yes, Ravens are that team.
They're the best drafting team.
When chaos happens all around them, when everybody's doing this and they're moving pieces around the chessboard, the Ravens just fold their arms, sit there, and say, "All right, who's the best player?"
Yep.
And they say, "All right, Kyle Hamilton,
Boom. Done.
Go be my safety for 12 years. Tyler Linderbaum, go be my fucking center.
Pro Bowl center for the next decade.
Yeah. So I mean, just two. It's easily I think it's the best safety in the draft. I mean, it's easily the best safety in the draft, and it's easily the best interior offensive lineman in the draft.
Question.
He just happens to play center, which is not a premium position, but you still got to have one on
still
the
valuable, very valuable.
And then, but it's all. Let me go further than that, though. You got Ravens as the winner, but what are they doing offensively? Getting rid of Hollywood Brown. Who's he throwing to?
I mean, he loves Andrews.
So Andrews,
Rashad Bateman.
I think Bateman takes a big jump. He missed the beginning of last year. I mean, I think what they did for Hollywood Brown was solid in the sense that like he just wasn't like he didn't live up to where he got picked.
Yeah,
he was decent. He was a solid, very solid receiver. But
his hamstring has a problem.
He's a smaller guy.
He has hamstring issues like every year.
I just think they could fill that. Like I think what they made the right move getting that trade. Like I think they got good value out of it.
My last winner is wide receivers. They're just valued on a level now that they've never been valued before, which is it's a passing league. But that started, the trickle down from the quarterback mattering the most, which obvious. Are receivers second now? Receivers and tackles.
Well,
right?
see, I think it's not even. I almost think it's even deeper than that. I think it's just they're just the most like pro-ready position.
And that used to be. I remember when I was growing up, maybe even 10 years ago, where the prevailing thought was third year. That's when a receiver is really going to be ready.
Yeah, that was the fantasy thing.
Third year receivers. Now that's out the window.
Like, I think these guys are going to make impacts
because college offenses have come a long way.
Yes.
Even the 7-on-7 high school stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the culture now. They grow up in that spread stuff.
They're playing pro offense in college, and that means when they get there, they don't have to learn to do things. They don't have to learn to deal with press coverage. They're ready to go. And you see Jamar Chase go from he can't see the ball in preseason because he was lying to us, to being maybe a top 5 receiver in pro football in his rookie year. So receivers have evolved very fast, very quickly into, the premium positions: quarterback, tackle, pass rusher, receiver, cornerback.
Yeah.
That's your 5 premium positions?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jets got 3 of them last night.
I mean, and it's all about the quarterback. There's who he throws to, defending who he throws to, putting him on his ass, keeping him upright. Those are your 4 positions other than quarterback. So that's football, man.
I remember Mike Thomas got like 5 years, $100 million. I guess it was 3 years ago, and it was the first like big $100 million receiver contract. And now, what is he, like the 15th highest paid receiver in the NFL?
Yeah, AJ Brown 420.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like how quick that might. It's just crazy how fast the economics change.
All right, day 2. Malik Willis on the board. Matt Corral on the board. Desmond Ritter on the board. George Pickens, receiver out of Georgia, on the board. Nakobe Dean on the board.
Breece Hall.
Breece Hall, all the running backs. Kenneth Walker, all of those guys are on the board. Going into day 2, what are we thinking?
I think the quarterbacks like fly off the board.
I don't think they do. I think we're seeing almost a quarterbackless draft. I don't mind disagreeing. I'm disagreeing with you. I'm doing it respectfully, but I think there's little problems with all of them. I don't think teams love Malik Willis as much as they pretended to love Malik Willis.
That I think is obviously true now for sure.
I think Matt Corral's got something that's scaring people off. I don't know what it is. I think Desmond Ritter's late charge to the first round was also bullshit. Obviously, he didn't get picked to the first round, but I don't think teams feel about Desmond Ritter the way we think they feel about this.
So tonight's obviously second, third round, correct?
Yes.
I guess my me saying flying, I'm saying I think those 4 guys go tonight. Maybe I'm wrong.
And Howell too.
Howell, yeah. So I think those guys go. Maybe if there's something that bad with Corral, they stay away.
You can't bet this, but I would bet if I had to bet all 4 go today, I'd say no. I would say one of them's getting to the 4th round.
Could the Corral thing become like the Chad Kelly thing?
I mean,
I damn sure hope not.
Very similar. They're very similar. I mean, they're very similar. That's all I'll say.
Yeah,
I don't want to be biased.
Man. I love Matt. I don't want to see that happen to him.
All right, look at this list. Second half of the draft, right? 17 Zion Johnson, 18 Treylon Burks, 19 Trevor Penning, Kenny Pickett at 20, Trent McDuffie at 21. Chiefs didn't do bad.
I thought Chiefs did great. I love Karlaftis.
Trent McDuffie, they got a good cornerback, we think, and they got Karlaftis, a good pass rusher. The Packers,
just stunning, man. It's stunning.
The Packers, I don't know who their receivers are going to be. Nobody knows who the receivers are going to be, and they picked They just picked 2 Georgia guys, 2 Georgia defensive guys. Quay Walker, linebacker, and Devontae Wyatt.
D-tackle.
Yeah. And not like Wyatt's okay, I guess. But
they're good players, but it's just like I don't.
Who are you throwing to?
They just don't. They fucking hate Aaron Rodgers.
They will not draft him out.
They're in a constant fuck you off, like a passive aggressive fuck you.
But they always come back together, and they always and he stays there, and then they do the money, and everything is great. Shake hands, take the picture, and
I think Rodgers even he said last night that he literally said like when I agreed to my contract, it was under the preface that Devontae Adams would be on the football team,
and he's not. He's on the radar.
And he is not. So that's an issue right there. Then they don't draft a guy. I mean, I just don't get it. I just don't get why they just refuse to give the guy help.
It is. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
It's just stunning. Like every year it doesn't happen, and every year I'm even more surprised than I was the last year.
And there were guys there.
Yes.
Like the North Dakota State guy was there. The George Pickens was there. There's guys there to go get him help.
It's crazy, man. It really is.
Lewis Seen, Dax Hill, George Karlaftis, Cole Strange, again, one of the weirder picks I've ever seen. Devin Lloyd at 27. A lot of people are hating on the Jags for the number 1 pick.
I love Lloyd.
I like Lloyd too. I think that's
I said, like when you watched Utah, you couldn't not notice him. He just is everywhere on the field.
I feel like they could be really improved this year. I mean, obviously going from Urban Meyer to Super Bowl winning coach and Doug Peterson is not going to hurt, but Josh Allen and Lloyd, and say what you will about Walker, but they got some dudes on that defense, and Lawrence should step forward a good bit under Peterson's tutelage. He's a great quarterbacks coach.
Yeah, and I also think Lawrence is still the best quarterback out of that draft last year. He hasn't shown it yet, but I think he eventually.
You can almost write off that year, though. I mean, there was so much going on.
And he was coached by Urban Meyer. They gave a rookie quarterback to a rookie coach. That's just a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous idea. All right, now that we have the draft, who's the bust of this draft? Because it can't be Malik Willis.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have a team.
Yeah, fair. I will say the bust.
I'm sticking with Derek Stingley at 3. I think Sauce Gardner's a better player. The Jets got Sauce Gardner sticking at 4, not having to move at all. And Derek Stingley, incredible production as a freshman, never matched that level. Where did it go? Will he ever get it back? I don't know the answer to that question.
I think I might just steal Stephen Che's answer.
Who's that?
That's Trayvon Walker.
The number 1 pick.
That he just.
Well, I mean, that's very. Yeah, that's almost a chalk answer because he didn't do anything in college, and now he's the number 1 pick of the draft.
I mean, he would have to do something in pros he never did in college. I mean, that's
be good at football.
It happens sometimes, but I don't think it happens that often.
What about you?
Man, I like where Thibodeau landed. I said him yesterday, but I like him landing on the Giants. I think that kind of changes the way I look at it. I'll just say Drake London because I don't believe in Marcus Mariota throwing the ball, and that's why I'll go with that.
Well, here's the thing about that, though, and that's fine. That is a valid viewpoint, but he's not going to be throwing the ball there very long.
No, that's true.
He's a short-term stopgap to whatever their long-term solution is. I don't know what their long-term solution is.
Yeah.
I don't even think they know what their long-term solution is.
Big T was saying they didn't like any of the guys this year, and he expects them to take someone next year.
Yeah, so they're getting ready. They're stocking the cupboard for the next guy to come in and cook them a meal, and right now Marcus Mariota's just dropping off some Grubhub.
I will say on the Stingley thing, I mean, I believe in his talent, but I have questions. I just think the Lovie Smith coaching hire, I think a lot of things and none of them are good. I think the Tampa 2's dad, Stingley, struggled when they played zone with Bo Pelini. I mean, that was the year they were like 100. That was when things blew up, like you've pointed out, Brandon. He's a man-to-man corner, and I don't know about Lovie Smith's scheme for that, and so that has me concerned. All right.
Let's talk about Cuts Clothing.
Let's talk about Cuts Clothing.
Cuts the best.
Cuts Clothing has spent years perfecting men's T-shirts, taking look good, feel good to a whole new level. Right out of college, Cuts founder and CEO Stephen Borelli got a job at an agency with a casual dress code. But in his first week, he was told his shirt was too athleisure. So he tried to do something or decided to do something about it. He searched all over for presentable and stylish tee, but couldn't find any that fit the bill. So he decided to solve the problem himself, designing a premium T-shirt that could be worn anywhere, on or off the clock, whether you're at a nice dinner, business meeting, or even in the gym. These shirts are made to last. Ditch the fast fashion brands and invest in Cuts. They have tons of great colors and styles, crew necks, Henleys, long sleeves. There's something for everyone. Refresh your wardrobe in time for summer with Cuts clothing. See for yourself why Cuts is one of the fastest-growing men's brands with over 1 million shirts sold. And right now, you can get 15% off your first order by going to cutsclothing.com/picks. That's cutsclothing.com/picks for Cuts Clothing. Hope they send us some more soon because I like it too.
Where are we going to go right now? Jeff D. Lowe texted me, just threw me all out of my rhythm. Really threw me off not being able to watch the SAS video. I was planning on watching that all day. It's just what a great 1.7 million views.
Wow.
Really.
Looking forward to I'm going to watch it.
I haven't watched it for real.
I have not. I don't.
It's just a minute video. I'm overselling it probably.
No, SAS cracks me up. I mean, I don't believe you are.
Well, the man doesn't miss, Ben. The man doesn't miss.
His social media, his reaches.
You know what you've never seen him do?
Miss.
Correct. Man can't miss. Physically incapable of missing. What do you want to talk about, Big Ev? You want to talk more draft, or you want to get to the NBA right now?
I want to go to this Kyrie stuff, kind of.
So I didn't even see what exactly did he say.
This motherfucker woke up on one.
He just tweeted. I literally.
First of all, he's played the race card. He played the people hate me card. He played the media is mean card. A couple of days after getting swept, a couple of days after once again not playing very many games in the regular season because he figured out a way to be a distraction to his team, he came out today and said the media, I'm paraphrasing all this, but basically he tore down the media for, he called it as a racist.
It was breaking down like black heroes.
He said the media makes their money by degrading black, African, and indigenous community heroes. And there is no dispute that the media does do that to black athletes. But do you know who else they do it to? White athletes, male athletes, female athletes. Athletes in the public eye get criticized. And you know what? The way to deal with that? Go look at the fucking bank. You're making $30 million a year to play 30% of your team's games. You ought to be able to handle that. Just don't whine about the media. Don't whine about people criticizing you. Block them on Twitter and move on like a man does. That's what you do. That's what I do. I just think to come out this morning and say, and first of all, one of the main critics of him is like Stephen A. Smith. I don't think Stephen A. Smith is racist towards Kyrie Irving.
No, I mean, he's racist towards bullshit.
That's one of the best phrases I've ever heard.
Like, it's just like
Stephen A. Smith is racist towards bullshit.
And it's when you're Kyrie, like, listen, when you're a guy who, like, listen, you played for the Celtics. Yeah. You shit the bed there. Like, they go and sweep you. What the fuck do you think?
You're also on the court, and I don't
like. What do you think? You're gonna get roasted.
You're also on the court flipping fans off,
I mean, which I don't even mind.
I don't care, but you're doing things to make yourself a lightning rod.
Like, the situation you were in that you're now in. Like, you're going to get crushed.
It's like you're out there playing with water balloons, and you're shocked you got wet. It's
just like that's just what how long you got to play in the NBA before you realize that that's what happens when you lose.
Anyway, listen. This is a team that was put together to have stars and to win. And when you don't win, they're coming for you.
Yeah, like it's just I would think it would be obvious.
When you
want everyone to suck your dick when you he had a great first game, but when you go for what he played pretty shitty in games 2, 3, 4. Like, what do you think's going to happen? The fan base you're playing against hates you because you sucked on their team. Like, what do you expect to happen?
I'm not sure how much he makes. You said $30 million. Whatever he makes.
He's on a max contract.
Okay,
he makes a lot.
Let's say he makes $40 million. Whatever. Nobody's going to feel sorry for somebody that makes $500,000 a game to not show up for work.
Yeah.
There's just no way. Everybody in real life has day-to-day life and bills to pay in life. When you're getting that kind of money, you're not going to get any damn sympathy. People would kill for your job and situation. And so for him to come out with the victim stuff, it's not going to play. It's just not going to work.
No, and he has, and Dave tweeted this today, but he's created a world where he does kind of create his own news cycle. Like he'll go out and score 50, and that'll be the talk for a while, and then it dies down. And then once he loses, he'll wait a couple days and he'll say something outlandish, whether it's black, indigenous, African things, or whether it's media hates me, whatever it is.
Earth's flat,
or whatever it is. The guy continually puts himself in the news, and then looks around and says, "Why is the news worried about me?" Well, because you're fucking doing it. You're like
Well, see, the thing with him is even too before, like when he said the Earth is flat thing, like he was like trolling.
Yeah.
But I almost think he's let those kind of things, like he like did it, he actually was asked about it, and he basically said that he said that for like a social experiment. Like he was like, let me just say that the Earth is flat and just see the way the world just approaches it. Obviously, the media went nuts with it, but now he just went to like a whole other level of like. It seemed at that point, at least, he was like mentally set. Like now, I just feel like he doesn't even like he just doesn't know he knows what's going on, but he just isn't like. There's just such a disconnect from like his brain to like reality right now.
I haven't seen the Stephen A. Smith rebuttal this morning because Stephen A. Smith like went on Twitter and was like, Kyrie, watch out tomorrow. I'm coming after you. Or maybe it was this morning. Watch out later today. I'm coming after you. I haven't even seen what Stephen A. Smith said yet, so that's out there probably, and I can't talk about it because I haven't seen it yet. I can't wait to watch it. Just busy, just doing the NFL draft. Stayed in a hotel in the city. Did a bunch of Coca-Cola, just a good time.
What'd you think about what's he
had a bunch of broads over to the hotel room.
Hell yeah, love hookers.
Yeah.
See what Stephen A. said about Zion saying.
They were actually broad. They were big girls.
They're big broads.
Oh yeah.
Stephen A. said about Zion last night. He's like, go get in shape because y'all could compete for a title if you'll step up.
Speaking of the media and tearing people down, Zion has gotten such a pass.
That's because he's in New Orleans and Kyrie's in New York.
But there are others. Zion's just gotten such a pass.
I almost feel like people just kind of like forgot about him a little bit.
Maybe.
I think that's
everybody forgot about the Pelicans till this year for sure. I mean, they were just kind of.
It definitely helps. The being not in New York. It definitely helps.
But I mean, hell of a run. I was heartbroken at the end last night. They were winning that game most of the time, but when it came to winning time, multiple turnovers, bad possessions. I mean. Chris Paul, though, 14 of 14.
Unbelievable.
It's one thing to do that if you're like a big man around the basket.
Right.
But to be a point guard, and I mean, I feel like I saw 100 balls that were shots that just rattle on the rim and go in.
Yeah.
He has those mid-range, man, he just gets it on the rim. They go down every time. But I don't know. That was a hell of a, the Chris Paul versus Kyrie Irving superstar argument, I think.
By the way, it was touch and go for a while, and you guys were kind of making fun of me a little bit for my Suns winning the title thing. I'm so in on the.
Well, I mean, when did I didn't.
Yeah. You and Smitty were like, you and Smitty were like.
I made fun of you for saying the favorite was gonna win.
No, when Devin Booker got hurt and they were in trouble a little bit, you guys turned on me a little.
Well, no. But they also said he was gonna be out for like 4 weeks.
Anyway,
it went from 3-4 weeks to like a week to like.
I got a couple bets for you right now.
Okay.
I'm going all in.
On the Suns.
All in on the Suns.
Okay.
Right now, Barstool Sportsbook. Devin Booker or Chris Paul. Pick one or put money on both. They're both they're 9-1 to win Finals MVP.
Ooh.
If the Suns get there and win, one of them's winning it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So Chris Paul, probably the better bet because he's gonna be the sentimental favorite. I'm just saying. Finals MVP. 9-1 right now.
I was on DeAndre Ayton.
Ayton's the only. Ayton really was good in the series. He's the only outside shot.
I feel like DeAndre Ayton could go for 30, 12, and 8 a game.
It still would be.
Paul would get all the credit for setting him up.
Honestly, what's more likely to happen is Devin Booker's going to average like 35, and they'll just hand it to Chris Paul.
I'm going to. I want to see the other Finals MVP odds right now because I love that bet.
One of my friends texted me trying to get in Jaylen Brown at 50-1 last week, and then he went to 35.
Okay, so it's actually changed since last night. Steph Curry right now is plus 430 to win Finals MVP.
That's tough.
Jason Tatum is plus 440 to win Finals MVP.
Wow.
Devin Booker is plus 550 to win Finals MVP. Giannis Antetokounmpo plus 750.
That ain't bad.
Jimmy Butler plus 850. And Chris Paul 10-1.
Wow.
So, I think Chris Paul 10-1 is incredible.
Honestly, the thing jumping out to me is, I haven't looked at the series prices, but the Celtics must be a huge favorite over the Bucks, or at least decent-sized favorite.
Yeah, and then you got, I'll just give you some more. John Morant 11-1. It never stays. Joel Embiid 14-1. Luka 18-1. And it gets into Bam Adebayo, Jordan Poole, Jaylen Brown. So,
no, the Warriors win.
I'll tell you what, Klay.
Steph's getting it.
I know, but Klay Thompson at 45-1 is
Poole stepping up's hurting some of his shots, right?
I know when they get in the finals.
He's still scoring a lot though.
Yeah, when they get in the finals.
They just can't win a finals and not give it a.
By the way, if you like DeAndre Ayton,
they have to.
80-1.
80-1.
I don't have series.
All 10-1 because the sentimental thing. is a real thing.
Right now, to win the Western Conference, the Golden State Warriors plus 140, the Suns plus 150, the Grizz plus 475, Mavericks plus 600, and the T-Wolves plus 8,000. To win the East, the Boston Celtics plus 150. They are the favorite. The second favorite, the Miami Heat plus 190, the Bucks plus 375, and the Sixers plus 475. I tell you what, the Bucks at plus 375 kind of intrigues me. I know Middleton's out, but they've got that championship thing around them. So now here are the next series.
We've got Holiday too.
Here are the next series. You've got the Suns and the Mavs. You have the Celtics and the Bucks. And you have the Heat and the Sixers. And the Warriors are awaiting the winner. We might find out tonight. Grizzlies, Wolves. I think the Grizzlies close it out tonight. We saw 3 teams last night with 3-2 leads go on the road and close out. That was 3 better teams saying, we're not dealing with Game 7. We're closing you out on your home floor. The Mavs did it. The Suns did it. The Sixers did it. I think the Grizzlies do it tonight.
T-Wolves, man, it's going to be tough mentally coming back from the way that Game 5 ended, too. I mean, that was a just dagger loss.
Yeah,
they did bounce back, blowing that huge lead though earlier in the season.
No, that's true.
They bounced back, won the next game.
Well, the Wolves are a good team.
I was kind of almost inclined to go contrarian and take the Wolves today, just because, I would be shocked, not shocked, but I'd be surprised at happening all 4 ways.
I think if you bet the Wolves today, I think you would also be wise to bet the Wolves to win the series. Because
I don't hate that. I mean,
they've been really competitive in Memphis. They won a game, and then they had that last game. There's been 3 games. They got blown out in one. They won another one, and then they lost on a buzzer beater. So I don't think they're scared of Memphis. So if you were to bet the Wolves today, maybe also go around and.
I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it.
I took Memphis minus 134 after they lost Game 1. So
I don't know what you can get on that. But
I'm gonna ride that one out. What up? One thing also to mention in the NBA, everybody was bagging on the Sixers so hard after they lost those 2 games, and nobody's really saying, but that was a serious effort last night. Winning by 30-something on the road in the closeout game.
It was like a 1 point game. I think.
Tied at halftime.
They'd be outscored 37-17.
The Timberwolves are plus 460 to win the series.
They were, I think that's worth a fly. And then in the second half, I think they outscored them like 77-37. It was ridiculous. They beat the shit out of them.
Also, just Celtics are minus 200 to win that series. It's quite a big favorite.
That is quite a big.
Like Middleton, Vegas is valuing Middleton quite a bit.
Yeah. But you're gonna need a guy like against Boston. You're gonna need all the toughness, all the defense, all the fucking grit you can get. And he's one of those guys. He's one of the heart and souls of Milwaukee. He helps Giannis be what he. But still, Milwaukee. I don't know. That's
Giannis and Drew and Lopez. I mean,
if I were ranking the second round series, that's far and away the best one.
The Heat are minus 185 over the Sixers.
I kind of like the Sixers, man. The Sixers look great for 3 games, bad for 2 games, great again.
Great for a half, yeah.
Yeah, and like they've it's in there. They got it, and I don't know. I kind of like them to beat the Heat. I probably shouldn't. Because the Heat are they're number 1 seed for a reason. They've been good all year. I kind of like the Sixers to beat the Heat. Suns, Mavs. I mean, the Suns are going to dispatch them. Warriors, Grizzlies could be a fucking war. Could be a hell of a series. You like the Warriors, I know.
I just think I just trust them a lot more. I just think the Grizzlies are a couple of years away, a year or 2 away. They have so much great talent. Like they're just young. It's just that they're all young.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big.
I want to watch that Warriors-Grizzlies series though.
It's going to be awesome. I mean, it's going to be fucking awesome.
I almost want to go to see one of those in Memphis. That would be awesome. I'm not going to.
Maybe stay in New York for a week or 2.
We'll be season App State.
Shit, it is. He's
Tennessee.
All right, you want to bet on the side? I say right now. Over under 2 games. He goes to at least 1 game in Memphis.
I'll take over 1.5.
Over 1.5? Yeah.
Actually, it basically
it would already have
when it falls because you could just go back to basically 2 games in 3 days, which is crazy.
So what I had considered making if I had extended this last one, I would have gone to a Grizzlies T-Wolves game and the Ole Miss spring game and maybe played the World Series Tunica main event. And I was like, this is too much. I need to get back to the office, even by my standards. So didn't do that. I don't know if I'll make a Memphis game. I don't know.
That would have been too much.
Yeah, I realized that. I kind of had to head there. I was like, you're pushing the line. It's going good, but let's.
I don't think there's a line anymore. I think you almost have license to just go.
With Louisiana, I think, as long as the sports book's building in Louisiana, that's what they, and it is doing really well. So that's, we got Barstool Classic in Lake Charles. I think Zah and I are hitting next, not this Monday, but next.
Looking forward to be rolling
Little
around
Bears,
with the
Lake
King.
Charles again, yeah.
Nah, but I'm looking forward to be rolling around with the King in his state.
It'll be a big time.
What I'm about to say is something I never thought I would say in my life. We were in Lake Charles, Louisiana for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And we all ate at the steakhouse there. The best steak I've ever had in my life was at the Lake Charles.
It was incredible.
I've never had
the one on the property, right?
Yes.
What did you have the Wagyu one, or what did you have?
The Wagyu.
Dude, the 50
I had that last year.
I've never had anything like I've had steaks in New York. I mean, I'm talking $400 or $500 meals in New York and all that. That Wagyu steak I had at that fucking casino is the best steak I've ever had in my life.
I was talking to Justin Mancini that does our booking for the travel when he was telling me about this trip, and I told him I am going in every single night that we are there.
It's 12:46. I told you. I said yesterday you should come back today. We've already talked about the NFL draft. Victory lap.
Should you crushed Shay? That was
Stop. We're not sucking his dick today. Come on. What you got duped again.
Okay, that's fair, and I did.
All right, take your fucking victory lap.
7-1 on props last night from the prop blog. Potential to go 9-1 tonight if the Bucs pick a defensive lineman. And
how do you go from 7-1 to 9-1?
It was like the Bucs' first draft pick is a defender. The Bucs' first draft pick is a defensive lineman.
All right, so you doubled up. Okay.
We did that Spaces yesterday, and everything you said on that Spaces happened.
Correct.
I mean, like, you were like, Quay Walker's going to go like 22nd. I remember because his over-under was 22.5. You said Drake London 8 to Atlanta.
Yep.
I mean, dude, and then that guy on the space who had the 3 receivers hit the 50-1. He said the receiver order.
Yep. And you probably didn't see this because you've been on the show. I'm the #1 mock drafter on the internet for this year.
Oh, wow. Really?
Wow.
You quit cheering him so much.
I'm happy for Shay. I worked together.
13 out of 32 teams. Nobody else had 12. Dominant.
Is that what it takes to be the #1 mock drafter?
That's not easy.
Is it 13 of 32? Now,
all the trades are hard.
You had. I remember the first 7 you nailed, right?
Yeah, I flip-flopped the 2 Giants picks.
But that's it. That still works.
Yeah, and I had 8, and I had.
Does that count as a hit?
Half. They do like different scoring systems. If you get the team, it's like double. So I get half.
Wait, who is the? All right. So you're the #1 mock draft. This is real.
That's real.
You're better than Charlie Campbell and Jody Smith and Dane, that guy, and Eric Edel.
So what's the points thing? There's some points that are higher, but they're lower.
Yeah, so like overall, I'm like ranked 12th based on this scoring system and whatever. But if you just look at teams and players, I'm #1 by a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not the #1 mock draft. You're not the #1.
The most accurate would be correct technically.
Because they were going like based on slot and with like trades and stuff like that. There's another site which I found that I had to submit my mock draft, so I didn't know that. Some guy said I would have been #1 on there by a mile. And give me the numbers.
Okay, we'll make sure we submit that mock draft next year.
Yeah, I do. I will.
All right. Well, congratulations on being so good.
Best in the world.
Huh?
Best in the world.
Okay. All right, Jericho. My bad. Shit. Just relax.
Congrats on being the best in the world. That's what I am.
You want me to say that? You want me to say that out of my mouth?
You don't have to. We're going to talk about it on the Yak, but
you want somebody to say it on the Yak, don't you?
I deserve promotion for this.
I think you're
not being demoted from senior analyst.
Oh, he is getting demoted.
Getting demoted again.
I can say I'm being demoted, but I'm the best in the world. So, whatever you guys want to do.
By that one line of metrics.
By drafting teams to players. Yep, that's me. I'm that guy. For a year.
You're gonna be
insufferable.
Insufferable.
You're being insufferable on his behalf.
We did the fantasy. I'm happy to see Steven's success. I am. Even though the Saints stuff, they'll never quit with that. But I'm legitimately happy.
Hang it up, Mel Kiper. Your days are numbered.
What a helmet, Shay.
It's over. Daniel Jeremiah.
It's over.
All of you. Over.
Gunzo.
We're all in this. Crushed them all.
Dunzo. That's awesome though. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What was you if you had to pinpoint your greatest success last night? Was it Quay Walker?
Quay Walker, yeah, that was big. N'Kobe Dean not going to the first round, I knew.
Yeah.
I said it was a lock. Quay Walker's going to go above him, which is not the
McDuffie over Lloyd thing was cool too.
McDuffie over Lloyd.
Crazy that Quay, he still even beat like the adjusted number by half.
Yep. Yeah.
When exactly 22.
So when I put it out as my lock, he was 32.5.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I'm sure I didn't influence it this much. I'm sure I would have moved the odds a little bit, but not the actual pick. Moved down to 22.5. Yeah,
it went 22.
Well, while we're at it, Sensei, what do you think about this quarterback situation going into today?
Stop. What did you Stop.
Sensei.
I mean,
what did you just say?
Hot, you know?
First of all, is it because he's Asian? Because that's racist.
No.
I mean,
I got called out yesterday.
Getting everything right, you know, what's going to happen with this?
You just called him Sensei. We're not. Okay, we can tell him he did a good job, but we're not calling him Sensei. He's definitely going to make that a nickname.
No. It's interesting because Malik Willis is like the very juiced up favorite. I think he's like minus 400 or something like that.
500. I saw this morning.
500 to be the next quarterback taken. Desmond Ridder has some fans, so it wouldn't shock me if he was the next quarterback to go. But I mean, it's such a slippery market. Like, there are teams that need a quarterback, but are they? If you don't like that guy, you're not going to pick. Like, we could see last year, we saw like I think the Bucs took Kyle Trask like right at the end of the second round, and then like Kellen Mond went and Davis Mills. I'm like, it could be a bit of a wait. So I'm wary about betting. I didn't like a lot of the props. Like Breece Hall is the top running back is minus 250. I think that's a good bet, but that's way juiced.
How many quarterbacks do you think go tonight?
Second and third round. There's four. There's the next tier we think is four. Sam Howell, Ridder, Willis and
Corral, yeah.
Anybody get out of tonight?
Howell might not get picked tonight. I think he probably will, so maybe 4. But tonight includes the compensatory picks, so we're talking, it goes up to, pick whatever it is, 101, 102. So I think we'll see probably 2 in the second round and then probably 2 late third, I think.
All right, quickly, because we got to do picks at 12:54. We have 2 minutes. Jets easy winner of this draft?
Easy winner.
Okay.
I got 3 of my top 14 guys. I mean, Sauce Gardner.
All premium positions too.
Sauce Gardner, I think, is the best corner. Garrett Wilson is most people's number 1 receiver. Jermaine Johnson is a really, really good edge rusher. I think he could end up being the best one from this class. I don't necessarily know that he will be, but he has that potential. For them to get 3 they set themselves up to be very good for a while.
Other winners, Giants, Thibodeau and Neal?
Less so, I think. I'm not as big on Thibodeau, but yeah.
Eagles, Jordan Davis, A.J. Brown?
Huge, yeah.
Lions, I thought, with Aiden Hutchinson and getting Jameson Williams.
Yeah, no, I liked what they did.
And Ravens sitting pat and getting best available twice.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted Jordan Davis, but for them to get best available, they signed 2 safeties in the offseason to kind of bulk that position up. So, like, Kyle Hamilton, not really in need, but he's, a really good player. So, best player available, plug him in, and let's see who wins.
All right. What's the big thing tonight?
To see where the quarterbacks go. The Bucs are staying pat, it looks like, at 33.
Pickens go early?
Yeah, I was going to ask about Pickens.
Yeah, so that next receiver.
Teams not love him. Teams don't like him.
I saw his draft position was like even today was like 46 and a half. Like they're not expecting him to go like right off the board.
Yeah, big thing is medicals, and he got hurt last year. He came back for the national championship game, but like, did he heal properly? I think that's a big deal. Like, you don't want to draft a guy on day 2, especially early in day 2, and be like, all right, well, he has to get another surgery to correct a previous injury.
Yeah.
So that could end up hurting him, but yeah, I wouldn't project him to go in the first 5 picks or so, but then you got Pickens, you got Christian Watson, you got Sky Moore, so there's a bunch of receivers that could start to go. I think once you see one of them go, the next 2 are going to go pretty quickly.
All right, we'll have to do the rest of it on the Yak because we got to do our picks because you showed up late.
I didn't know you wanted me out. I just found this out, so I had to.
I mean, I didn't. You didn't know I wanted you. What did you think? Well, I had you on Wednesday. I had you on Thursday.
Nice night, Smitty and Brandon.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm great. Making Money is taking control. She's gonna win the month. It looks like. She's up. She's doubled up on Rico. Smitty took a big step forward. I'm right there. Big Ev, and then And you just continue to.
Dude, I'm the worst. There's no getting around it. It's just comical at this point.
All right,
it is what it is.
I'll lead us off. Just 2 picks in the association for me, and then 1 baseball. Grizzlies to win it. Grizzlies -1, and then Grizzlies Wolves over 229. And then if I have to pick a baseball to get to my 3 minimum, why not pick the best team? I think the Mets. Mets money line -124. Big F.
Yeah, just got 3 baseball plays today. I'm on the Blue Jays money line. They're small favorite. Anytime they're like small favorite, like I'm gonna take them. I'm on the Mets also. They're hot and love the A's today. Those are the 3 plays.
And I took a long shot flyer on Corral 12-1 next quarterback taken solely because I know the Panthers are snooping around him a lot and at the 6th round, pick of the 2nd round.
Well, the Washington is too.
Yeah, and so I took him 12-1. I just thought 12-1, whatever. But I don't know. I've heard since I've come into the office, I feel less good about it. And then I took Kenneth Walker 3-1 next running back. But I don't know. You don't sound like you feel good about that.
No, I think that's good. I think it was.
I just thought 3-1 was good odds. I got Memphis to close it out tonight, and then I'm going to add college baseball. The college baseball lines just got posted. They take a little longer. I know I've got LSU -140 at home against Georgia. I'll add the rest of them later.
Sorry. Working my shoulders. I had to work late last night. How'd you think the show went? It's a goddamn shame, Che.
I think
quality of the show that we do
was really high.
It was really good, really fucking funny, really good.
I didn't realize how bad
it sucks.
Back was or the internet.
It was just the visual.
I just wish people could see what we actually put out there.
Frank was really good last night.
Frank was awesome. I was going to say that.
The Dolphins not picking really.
Yeah.
I was going to say that on the.
He was so melancholy. He just was hanging out.
Yeah, it was chill. But he had 30 hats, like those Amanda Mini hats, 32 hats, and Frank was fucking awesome last night. I'll save it for the rest of it for the Yak. Anyway, the Yak is up next. Big Cat, Roan, Sass, me, I think Che. I think that's our crew today. We'll be back next week. Again, the Yak is up next.